Wow. Okay, so I help women find self-acceptance through movement. And my story began with movement at 4 years old. I was a little girl in a tutu, just, you know, living the dream and dancing. And I went to high school for performing arts, later graduated from college with a dance degree, and was really dedicated to the study of dance. I moved to Las Vegas after that and started performing and doing gigs and having a lot of fun. And I also went through a lot in my personal life. I got married, I had a baby girl, I got divorced. So a lot of things changed for me in a short amount of time. And I moved to Austin in 2015. I started teaching dance fitness classes mainly as a way for women to express themselves and also like get a workout at the same time. And through that time, I started realizing the transformations that I was seeing within women coming to these classes, that they were just coming for a workout, but they were really getting so much more. They were feeling free and liberated and good in their skin. And that led to me wanting to create more offerings that really spoke to the inner work of confidence, of feeling great in your skin, and of being a sensual woman. So that's how we ended up here. Energetically, Austin seemed like the right place for me. I moved to Vegas when I was 23 and fresh out of college and single, and so it was really exciting at that period in my life. But as I got older and became a mom, and I just wanted a different kind of lifestyle, and the energy in Las Vegas was not sitting well with me anymore. Everyone comes to Vegas to like kind of be the worst part of themselves, and then they just leave that energy there, and then they go back to their lives. And I started to feel like I could feel that, and so it was time for me to go. Austin doesn't take itself so seriously. I really like that. Coming from Vegas, there was a lot of pressure to just be dressed up, to everyone wants to be somebody in this VIP lifestyle, and the best tables and the best clubs, and I still like all of those things, but Austin is just so relaxed, and I can do all of the lovely things. There's lake life and fine dining and the arts. It's all here, but it's not so serious. I like the laid back approach that Austin has. I don't know that I can nail it down. I would have to say I feel most at home doing African dance. That's where I feel most at home and most free. I try to make sensuality the focus. I think it's important to honor the sensations and the feelings that are going on in your body as you're moving. And a lot of my work now is with people that aren't necessarily trained dancers. So they might be moving in these ways for the first time. And so it's important to me to focus on the feeling and the intent of the movement versus getting them to execute the steps in a certain kind of way. I want them to really connect to the feeling that the movement is bringing in their bodies and kind of get used to like sensing the world in that way. That's never easy. You know, there's a whole industry, billion-dollar industry, built on the fact that it's not easy, and we're always looking for that next thing or that next product or that next routine that's gonna take us into this place where we completely accept ourselves. But it is work, because programming that has been with us for a very long time. So to think that you will just say one affirmation or take one class or do this one thing and suddenly you're gonna shoot out rainbows and glitter is, I don't think that works like that, but I do think it's good work. Just because it's work doesn't mean that it's hard. Well, that depends. If I'm dancing in a professional sense, then I'm just thinking about execution. What does the choreographer want? What does the director want? Am I doing that? Am I giving what's supposed to be given in that moment? But if I'm dancing for joy, I'm usually just really in a state of gratitude of like, wow, I hear this rhythm. My body wants to move to it. My body knows what to do. I can move my limbs. It's kind of a sense of awe. I think when I dance, I'm really just feeling grateful that I have the ability to move. Every single day. And every single day, not a day goes by that I'm not dancing. Today I danced to the Jackson 5, actually. Today I danced to Heartbreak Hotel, the Jackson 5. I start my day with music and usually a little stretch, and usually that turns into a dance party of some sort, or just depending on how I'm feeling. If I need to get hyped up, it might be a Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion type of movement, or if I need to feel like chill, I have my chill artists that I listen to, but mainly it's soul music. I just like good soul music, mostly 70s, 80s, and 90s. That will always get me moving. Well, working with Beyonce was the most memorable. I mean, it doesn't get any more memorable than that, and how that whole situation came about was pretty crazy. Being in Las Vegas and getting like this huge casting call with, hundreds, if not 1,000, and so many dancers upon everyone from around the block. It was huge and open, and I was so surprised that they were casting it in this way, but going through that whole long process of cuts and cuts and cuts and cuts, and finally making it to the stage was amazing, because the audition was so hard, and what we actually did on stage was like literally maybe 2 8 counts. Walking and rocking back and forth. But as Beyonce, she had to make sure that you could execute. Wow. Any other artist? Probably like Bjork or something. I would want to do something all weird and avant-garde and trippy. And something very unexpected. So I think that would probably be the most awesome. So right now I am working on my book, which I'm so excited about, and it's so interesting to be working on something that's not movement based. So it's different, because I find that when I'm talking about movement and dancing, it flows so easily. But when I'm like, and I'm writing a book, I'm like really getting nervous about that. But I love to write, and I'm starting to affirm that more. It's like, no, I actually am a writer, and I can't wait to have my book in my hands early next year. It's going to be about the journey to self-acceptance, and I'm going to share a little bit about my journey and my story, and how I'm living this amazing, fulfilling life, that I didn't think was possible at one point. Just be patient. like I mentioned earlier, we live in this quick fix society, right? Where we just think we're one thing away or one product away or one message away from coming to this place of like where the light bulb goes off and all of a sudden, we love ourselves and we're loving our rolls and our cellulite and our acne and our nose hair and all of these things that we really don't love. And it's really a process that takes patience, and I can speak to the fact that I'm pretty much in acceptance with my body and all of who I am, and I still have days where I don't love everything, and that's okay. I think it's more about being neutral with your body and being in a neutral place. It doesn't have to be love and admiration, but it also doesn't have to be hate. It takes a minute. It's usually in the beginning just about comfort and being vulnerable enough to share with someone else that I don't like my body. This is why, I've experienced this trauma in my body, or I was told these negative things about my body. It takes a lot to simply just share that with another person. So I think that's the first layer. It is really just being able to share the information and feel comfortable enough sharing it. But as time goes on, that's the most exciting part of my work, is to see a little bit of that guard let down and to see the real powerful part of a woman start to come up and do this, like something that's inside of there but might be a little bit repressed or buried. And when it starts to come out, it's like, watch out. Just living fully and understanding that we always have a choice. I think that life really changed for me when I started looking at my life from that perspective of I always have a choice, and where I am now is a result of choices that I've made. And when I started to feel more empowered and not like life was happening to me and why was this happening to me, but when I started taking accountability for my choices, and I start realizing that, no, I actually always can choose. That is when life started getting really juicy and really good, and I started making choices that I was afraid to make before because I didn't think I was capable. I didn't think I deserved to live in a certain way, but you always have a choice. You always have a choice. And I hope you choose to live the fullest life possible. And that doesn't always mean chasing adventure and chasing the next big fun thing and doing all these grand things. Sometimes it means laying your ass down and taking a nap, because that's how you're going to preserve your quality of life. So living fully is something that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like it starts with making the choice to do that.